Okay, so let's check in about where we are right now. We've become really removed from what rehearsal used to be. The full physical exploratory process that used to be the norm, we don't do it like that anymore. Not as much. Not if you're not working consistently in the theater. So even me talking to you on a screen is giving you tools through a YouTube video, right? It's all of that is a symptom of this shift. That we're becoming more sedentary in how we approach the work, more cerebral, less instinctual, less experiential. We try to decide things ahead of time instead of experiencing them. We intellectualize rehearsal. We talk about choices. We analyze the lines, but we're not living through the moment-to-moment discoveries. So that stops being acting. That's planning. And you can't plan your way into a truthful performance. You have to experience it. You have to get it in your body. You have to react to something genuinely there. And that is what rehearsal is for. So years ago, when I was training in martial arts, a student had just finished doing a kata in class, this beautiful choreographed form, and he said to the sensei, he said, "I know this one." And the sensei stopped him and said, "You don't know a kata, you're working a kata." So that stuck with me. That stuck with me for life, because the second you decide that you know something, you've stopped being open to what it can teach you. And the same is true in acting. The same is true that you don't know a scene, you don't know a character, you're working a scene, you're mining the material, you're discovering what's there by engaging. You're engaging with it physically, emotionally, and instinctually. So we're going to talk about how to work a scene, to work the material like that. And we're going to do that by becoming detectives. So you remember in part 1, I gave you 5 rehearsal ideals. Those were standards for how to show up for the work. Read everything, work out loud, move around, use up all your time, drop the script. Remember that? Today, we take those into action, and we begin where all strong rehearsal technique starts, with the given circumstances. Rehearsal starts with curiosity, with investigation, with digging. You have to think like a detective. The script is going to be full of clues. Your job is to find every single one of those clues, and some of them are obvious. Things the writer tells you directly. Some are implied, hints about relationship, tone, tension, location, hints, and your job is to mine for that gold. We don't skim, we don't assume, we examine. What time is it? What just happened before this scene? How long have you known this person that you're speaking to? What does the room feel like? What's your physical state? All of that. Given circumstances. These are given circumstances, the indisputable facts of the scene, the things we cannot dispute because they are true. Why? Because the writer told us they were. They are the facts the writer gave you to build your truth from. Most actors skip this step. Not most actors these days. They jump into how they want to play it instead of asking what's already true. If you don't root yourself in the given circumstances, what you're really just doing is decorating empty space. You're putting behavior on top of nothing. So first, what we're going to do is we're going to gather facts. Those things that are already there. And then we're going to respond to them, because good acting doesn't start from deciding, it starts from reacting. Once you've gathered all the circumstances, it's time to live in them. Let them affect you. Use your rehearsal ideals to do that work. And you ask, what if it were me? Not what if I played it like this, but what if I were actually in these given circumstances? That's where your instincts come alive. That's where real choices live. You stop trying to come up with something and you start allowing something to happen to you. You stop trying to come up with something, to invent something, to decide something. Rehearsal allows something to happen to you and gives you an experience. All right. Once you have done all that, we are really now ready to truly deal with the given circumstances. Because this is now where your imagination is going to wake up because you fed it this information. Now it's got something real to build on. You're not just pretending, you're responding. And remember that your creativity has traction. It starts generating images and impulses and feelings, not because you forced it, because you gave it something to work with. So you don't try to know the scene. You work the scene, right? Be the detective. Mine the gold. Look for the clues. Respond to what's true. That's rehearsal. That's the process that brings characters to life organically, honestly, physically. And if you want help grounding yourself in that process, you need tools to connect your body, your breath, and your imagination, right? All of your tools can be applied first and foremost to those given circumstances, the things that we know are true to begin with because the writer told us they are. And that's our job. It's not to invent some other set of circumstances. It's to use what we're given to enliven the imagination, and our imaginations will respond to those given circumstances. So, if you need other tools, use my audio guides. Even better, join the rehearsal room. The rehearsal room, be a member. Join for practically nothing every month, and you'll get all these online lessons, homework, challenges, videos. I'm going to be honest here and say that I've met more actors who have this expectation that their one class or one lesson a week is enough. Guys, we got to remember, acting is a muscle memory art, and it will not become second nature unless you train those muscles consistently all the time. If you are only practicing 1 hour or 2 a week, this is not going to become second nature. You will not automatically just be able to pull that material up and find that gold if you're not doing it all the time, if you don't have a script in your hand, if you're not practicing your art. You will revert back to making those academic decisions, trying to make choices from nothing rather than a rehearsal experience. So if you want to get better, if you want to do something, if you want something that's there for you every day, just become a member of the rehearsal room. The members understand that, right? That there is something for them to do every day, to stay engaged and prepared and participate in forums and ask me anything in chats and remain connected. I'll give you info about joining after this, so check that out if you're ready to get fuller in your process. And if this helped, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know how you did working on your next scene. This piece right here on given circumstances cannot be leapfrogged over. It is the start. Those facts set you off on everything you need to do. The objective will not come from here unless you've experienced those given circumstances. You cannot decide what you want out of nowhere. It comes from the truth of the scene. Got it?